welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The outbreak of whirling disease on Alberta fish farms has led to them being quarantined since the fall of 2016. Very little communication has been provided to some in the industry. One quarantined fish farm has received no written confirmation of test results or any other documents. At the time of inspection, he asked for copies of the documents and was told, no, you don't get a copy. Is this normal practice that affected farms do not get copies of documents or written confirmation of test results?
Question. The Honourable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm happy to report our government is taking swift action to protect our fish population from whirling disease. The day after whirling disease was detected in Banff National Park, we signed a ministerial order outlining the three-point action plan to educate Albertans, detect and contain the disease. In order to expedite the communication with stakeholders, we formed a whirling disease committee. A representative from aquaculture industry sits on that committee. This allows us to communicate quickly with stakeholders and get their input on how to contain this disease.
First supplemental.
The fish farm industry is struggling to manage this outbreak. I would hope that the government would consult and work with them. Instead, operators are saying that they are being ignored and that the government is only focused on public fish farms instead of private commercial fish farms. It appears that the government is going into competition with the commercial fish industry. Will the government save the future of fish farms, both public and private, by working with them, or will your competition just be forced out of business?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So we have sent information packages to registered fish farm operators, and staff have met with those operators. We will continue working for fish farm operators as we continue to combat whirling disease.
The ministry has written a letter to some quarantined trout farms offering them a paltry $25,000, and no explanation of how this figure was arrived at has been provided. Given that in the livestock industries, quarantined and slaughtered animals are recompensated at fair market value, and since these are the livelihoods of families and communities, if they're not compensated at fair market value, a family may not have food on their tables. How is this figure calculated? Is it negotiable? And is it meant to be fair market value or just a silencer?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you. We did offer ex gratia payments to certain operators who were placed under quarantine. Staff are working with operators to help them apply for those payments. I would encourage the honourable member to, if there's a specific constituent, to contact the Minister of Environment and Parks office. There may be more questions we can help them with. But I need to reiterate, whirling disease is seriously impacting Alberta's world-famous fishery. The CFIA now requires a permit when transferring fish and fish farm equipment from an infected area. For more information, I would suggest you contact the Environment and Parks website.